Hi, this is Chris from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from Political Voices Network.
Yeah, you said why Mark Meadows' court loss in Arizona spells trouble for Trump's criminal case in D.C. Right? Because they're not, all of us are like, these are not official acts overturning the government of the United States.
That Judge Tucci, John Tucci, ruled that, no, Mark Meadows can't have his case moved from Arizona to federal court because all the stuff he did to try to help Donald Trump unlawfully retain the presidency, these are not official acts of a chief of staff. And by extension, the stuff he did together with, at the direction of, and for the benefit of Donald Trump, ain't official acts of the president. So that's an important atmospheric ruling by that federal judge in Arizona that I suspect you're going to hear the parties talk about in the D.C. case when Judge Chutkan is litigating these issues as they pertain to Trump.
Glenn, let's talk about Jack Smith as it relates to this John Roberts story. It reads in part, Jack Smith, for his part, is moving ahead with a revised indictment of Trump that some observers fear could be cut down even more by Roberts down the line. They write, all four women justices were prepared to unequivocally join a modest opinion that kept Trump, for instance, on the Colorado ballot without gutting the constitutional bar on insurrectionists returning to office. The Chief Justice spurned them, siding instead with the four other conservative men who wished to write this clause out of the Constitution. These little scooplets are earthquakes, as is the fact that someone of the High Court is not just talking to the press, but also leaking memos that reveal highly sensitive details of decision-making processes, says Dahlia Lithwick. But the real story that emerges between the lines is anyone who believed that John Roberts was a principled movement conservative but also a never-Trumper was wrong. Roberts moved mountains to allow Trump to evade accountability for attempting to unlawfully overturn the results in 2020. So this headline I saved for you because I like my news happy clappy, as you know. Ex-prosecutor warns Jack Smith would be setting up another Supreme Court loss. So what? I mean, I don't even know how to read the tea leaves with a Chief Justice like this. But what do you think in terms of Jack Smith?
No, I think Jack Smith is doing the best he can under the circumstances. And the circumstances are he is fighting monsters right now, monsters who are not honest brokers of the law. They're wearing the black robe. They're sitting up higher than everybody in the room, in their courtrooms. But they're not honest brokers of the law. Not Judge Aileen Cannon, not the radical right wing of the Supreme Court. And, you know, Jack Smith can only do but so much when the umpires are, you know, in the pocket for the opponent. And so that's why we have to think beyond. First of all, it's always up to us, isn't it? It's always up to the voters. It would sure be nice if we could get a damn assist from, you know, the judiciary or from Congress, from the Department of Justice. It would be nice if we could get an assist in accordance with the rule of law. But no, it's always up to us. And Donald Trump will lose in a landslide. You know, I believe he will lose by 15 million votes or more. I don't think it's going to be close. We're not going to be complacent. But and then maybe, just maybe, with a president who has the heart of a prosecutor, she will understand the need to go after the wrongdoers, just the way she did when she cross-examined those same wrongdoers as a senator and reduced them to a puddle of tears like Brett Kavanaugh or a bowl of Jell-O like Bill Barr. That's what we need in the White House.
Yeah. I think she made their balls into clackers. I wanted her to put it on the debate podium. Just clack, clack, clack. So just quickly, though, so Jack Smith might be taking a reckless move with the federal election conspiracy case against Trump. According to one former prosecutor, it could be setting up the Supreme Court to delay and water down the case yet again. Can you explain that to me? Is what it, like you said, what's he supposed to do, Jack Smith? I mean,
no, I don't know what that article refers to as a reckless move, to be honest, but I don't think he's been reckless at all. He's been very forward-leaning, very aggressive, but appropriately so. He's going to file this mega brief on November 26th, and he said it will include grand jury transcripts and transcribed interviews and what are called FBI 302s, which are the documents that the FBI generates anytime they interview a witness. They document it in meticulous detail. And we're going to get a big old dump of Donald Trump's crimes and conduct and statements because the Supreme Court has tasked Judge Chutkan with, okay, Judge, you got to unravel all of this and you have to rule on what's official conduct and what's not. I believe Jack Smith is going to prove, and she's going to rule, that very little of what Donald Trump said and did to try to steal the presidency in 2020 was official conduct of a president of the United States. But you're right, the Supreme Court, the umpires are in Donald Trump's pocket. So,
let's end on a good note.
We may lose in the end.
Two last happy clappies. You wrote federal judge rules Rudy Giuliani utterly failed in lawsuit he brought against President Biden. Remember when they said we were the party of frivolous lawsuits?
Yep.
Just okay. And also you said, gotta love how even when Trump gets 2 charges dismissed in his Georgia case, it's not because he didn't commit those crimes, but because they must appropriately be charged as federal crimes. Plus the judge refused to toss the RICO charge and the other 7 felonies. Buckle up, Donald. Buckle up. Speaking of buckling up, you know what's really nice this time of year? Durham, North Carolina tomorrow, Phoenix next Saturday, and then October 12th is a really wonderful time to go to Kansas City. I just was giving you some travel tips, Glenn.
I hear you, Steph.
Okay.
I hear you.
I love you, Glenn Kirschner. See you next week.
Love you, Steph. See you guys.
There's no denying it, the vibes are really good right now. But vibes alone won't save our democracy. We need votes. At the Grassroots Democrats HQ, we know what it takes to win elections. Knocking doors, making calls, sending texts, and writing postcards. If we're going to elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and give them the Democratic Congress to pass their agenda, then we need to roll up our sleeves and talk to a record number of voters between now and November 5th. But let's be clear, we can't do it without you. So, are you ready to work? This is a fight for freedom and our future, and everything is at stake. Don't wake up on November 6th wishing you had done more. Join us. Go to grassrootsdems.org today to sign up to volunteer, and let's go win this thing.